Hello, everyone. We're excited to launch a new series we're calling SEANC Voices. We're going to pop in on the podcast feed every once in a while with interviews of some of the wonderful members we have on the issues facing state employees and retirees, as well as SEANC as a whole. We hope it'll give you more insight into what happens around here. Our first episode features a conversation with SEANC President Kirk Montgomery. Kirk is now a year and a half into his term as president. He is the IT director for the city of Mebane and has worked at several agencies, including the State Lab and UNC Chapel Hill. We had a great conversation when he came over to the office a few weeks back for a quarterly board meeting. We hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're here with our usual team in here, and we got a treat today. We were able to get a few minutes with our president because it's the quarterly meeting of the SEANC Board of Governors, and so we haven't checked in with him, I guess, a month or so. He was on our podcast.
Yeah, it's been a minute on the podcast. He's been on our videos, but not the podcast in a minute.
Yeah, so we just wanted to grab him if we could. I know he's busy on this weekend, but we did get a few minutes with him. How you doing? Kirk Montgomery, the president.
I'm doing well. You know, it's good to be here at the office, and you know, we have a lot of things going on. I just want to give kudos to our staff for all the hard work that they've been doing, especially to our lobbyists. Things have been very difficult in these last few weeks trying to circumvent some of the bills and stuff that have come through.
Yeah, you saw that firsthand.
I did. You know, being able to go down to the legislation and talking to some of the representatives and stuff, it was a treat within itself. A lot of things that I wasn't exposed to, I was able to get exposed to. I really was very surprised and very proud to see our executive director speak up when they did not allow for people to speak on a bill that they were voting on until at the end. And they passed the bill at that time. And, it was an experience of, seeing how politics work, but also seeing the dedication that we have and the focus that we have for this organization and for state employees. And our executive director let them know that, that was something that we're not happy about, and that, we need to have an option to speak about it before people make the decision and take the vote.
You must have been pretty confused because you had gone to meet with one of the appropriations chairs. You were doing your meeting and then you zipped down to the committee meeting to see if you could catch the vote. You must have been very confused because we were.
Just never seen that happening.
Speaking after a vote. That was a weird thing.
Yeah, I was because, I've been into a couple of sessions and so forth, but it was nothing like this. I actually saw, some of the items that were addressed even for local government, which kind of set me back because, I've been a state employee for 24 years, but then now I am local government, and to see some of the items that they passed that didn't make a lot of people happy. Especially, some of the county commissioners and so forth that were there, they were not happy with the way they were trying to reappropriate some of the funding and stuff that they got. So it was a different environment, but it was something that, I needed to be more exposed to. And as the organization's president, this is something that we have to stand and fight for.
And specifically, that was H549?
549.
Bill 549.
The bill to take away SHRA protections from state auditors' positions.
The whole agency.
Yeah.
Make them all political.
Yep. And so, we're going to have a trickle-down effect because once it's done in one agency, other agencies are going to look at that. And that's something that we're going to have to stand very steadfast for and fight against.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that.
So you worked at the State Lab? You went to? So you know the importance of the SHRA protections.
Yep. I worked for the State Lab. I've worked in a lot of positions in the state. I worked for the State Lab. I worked for DENR. I worked for the UNC system. And so, this was something that was brought to the UNC system years ago as well. And, we took a stand and we helped and we fought on that front as well back then. So,
Do you find that members really count on those protections
They do.
Okay.
Because, North Carolina is an at-will state, but having those protections gives them some sort of cushion.
Yeah.
But without those protections, you can walk in one day and they can just tell you, well, we don't need you anymore and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So those protections help go through the process of grievances and everything else. And that's a big part that state employees need.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, we've got some Gen Z members who are coming in this afternoon to cut a podcast from their vantage point, how things look, because we're really curious. It's an odd time to be alive in terms of politics, but I want to know what the younger people think. And I know as part of your presidency, you've been really wanting to highlight younger members, give them a voice and put them at the front. So do you have thoughts about that and how Gen Z should be a bigger part of the organization?
Yeah, I mean, we have to understand that the world is changing and the younger generation has a different perspective than what we do. They have a lot of very good perspectives because they want to see things done and they want to see it done now. But for them, we need to bring them to the forefront, give them an opportunity to see what the leadership is about and help plan the future of the organization and as far as dealing with state employees. I mean, because if you look at the approach that things are happening now, they're trying to take everything away from state employees, the benefits and things of that nature, because used to people came to work for the state because there were great benefits.
Right.
Make a career, yeah.
And so, now it's a different mindset is that it's like we're numbers. State employees are numbers. And so when you look at people as numbers and you don't see them as people or a valuable resource, then that causes a major concern because then you're just going to say, okay, as you know, they're doing the approach they're doing like with the DAVE Act and things of that nature. They're trying to take away things and get rid of positions that are much needed. People came here for the benefits and also to provide a service for the state. And that was a big thing. The Gen Z, they want to come in and they want to make things happen. They want to make changes. And we need to bring them in and give them an opportunity to speak and to stand up.
That's awesome.
Well, it's May now, so this is the time of year that the president starts thinking about the convention that comes up. You're kind of in charge of the convention. It's a big task.
You can kind of. Convention is the president.
It is your convention. So what kind of excitement are you bringing to it this year? And I know you have a theme picked out and we're going to...
Yeah, I'm going to keep a few things close to my chest at the moment.
Okay.
Brenda and I are still working on things, but I want it to be fun, but we have a lot of business that we have to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
The convention is a time for the delegates and everyone to come together and look at the options that we have for state employees and, look at our bylaws, look at the process. But it's also a time for us to have the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Because at SEANC, we consider ourselves as family.
Mm-hmm.
That's good and bad at times, but it's a thing that we stand for and that we love this organization. We love state employees and we're focused more so on trying to make sure things are better. The convention is a time for us to focus on those things, put in some training, ensure that all the business is taken care of, and to look at what we have done in the past year or two.
Okay.
He's an
busy man.
Our president runs IT for the city of Mebane, and I'm wondering if they have something going on right now, but hopefully not. But things beep on him sometimes.
Yes, that's actually one of my vendors calling me now about some stuff. But that's something I want to talk about too. Being the president of SEANC is something that I have truly enjoyed. It's been a little bit difficult for me because I do have a full-time job, but it's been good. It has really been good. There's some things that I couldn't push my agenda as much as I wanted to because of my limited time frame that I had being the president and working full time. But the staff has been very supportive. We've got a lot of things going, and I hope to work with the next president to see, they will have their own agenda. But if there's things that I can help and assist to kind of push some other items, then I'll do that.
So I have the question I ask every president. All of our past presidents talk about how much they enjoy being president, but how much better they like being a past president. Mm-hmm. And towards the end, they always say, I can't wait to be a past president. Are you there yet?
Yes.
That's so funny to me. Everybody...
But you were just saying, I mean, it's a huge commitment for 2 years of your life. So
it is.
But we appreciate you doing it, obviously. And the convention, like other organizations have events like this, but it always strikes me people are just, it's just like, why? I mean, why are you worried about it? It's just a convention, right? You just get together. It's like, no, this is like very important. This is at a time, this was the only time that SEANC members got together way back in the day.
It was way back in the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do a lot of work at the convention. And
yeah, we do a lot of work. I mean, it is a lot of work. And we're tired. Staff is tired. Officers are tired. But, we do have fun and we do enjoy, but it's not all about fun. And we want people to understand that
Yeah.
we have business that we take care of every day that we're at convention.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you check out your bylaws. Do you want to make amendments? Are there new bylaws to consider? Your policy platform objectives. That's your directive. Everything we do.
Yeah, we're not going and just spending a couple hours in there and then
exactly.
going to party.
They're
Because,
they're long
I mean, they're
days.
8, 9, 10
Yeah.
hour days. I mean, we've been in, so, I mean,
But if you look at how broad, you were talking about your experience in state government, you worked a little bit of everywhere. And if you look at how broad everything is
Yeah.
that we deal with, it would take a while just to get through your bylaws. And it does, but it's good. It's an interesting conversation.
And
Yeah,
I
it
think
really
we have
is.
usually about 800
About 800.
delegates. So they come from all over the state. It's a big crowd of people.
Vigorous debate.
Vigorous
Vigorous-
debate.
yeah.
Always.
Because
And-
President Montgomery's right. We're a family, but like families fight.
Exactly.
We fight each other, but nobody better fight.
it's,
That's right.
Nobody from outside better fight us.
Yeah. It's always
That's when we
interesting.
become
That's
unified.
when we, yeah.
That's the
mm.
key.
Right.
It's always interesting to me that 800 people seem to know each other, like all of them.
It is
know each
weird.
other. You
I
know,
think
like,
lots
oh
of
yeah,
them,
that's Jim
They just
over there.
wait
That's-
until
yeah.
September because this is, our big
Exactly.
deal.
Yeah.
It's a reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
so we're excited about that,
Right.
and we're excited to have you here this weekend. I know it's going to be a busy one.
Yeah, we have a few things on the agenda that we need to address. And so I'm just ready for us to meet and go through that process and get things done.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, giving us, I know you got probably 4 calls on there you got to return, but thanks for coming in, giving us a few minutes, and we'll see you out in the board meeting.
Thank you so much.